Hello, everyone, and welcome to GJ Management Consultants channel. First of all, I would like to thanks all the subscribers and viewers. We got overwhelming response for the shots that we published some time back on one of the major business issues which is prevalent nowadays, that why many maximum businesses which start with a great passion fails to sustain in couple of years or 3 to 4 years. We got request that we should publish a long video and clearly articulate the real challenges behind the failures. So we take this opportunity and we are here to present the long video, and this video would be available on 7th of November on the YouTube channel. Please have a look, share a comment and feedback, and also let us know what all areas you want to cover. And we are always here to present the solution to the problems, because this is the GJ Management Consultants team philosophy, that we need to address all the business challenges and provide with the solutions that are applicable into the real-time business scenario. So let's move ahead. Okay. So, as we published the video and we mentioned that 90% of the businesses that starts with great passion fails to sustain and got shut down within a couple of years or maximum 3 to 4 years. So, problem statement is that yes, this is also a reality that every year thousands of small businesses open in India, and I think this itself clearly articulates the kind of the environment in which we are working. I think the kind of schemes that is being announced by our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, I think that itself promote the sense of entrepreneurship among our people, and that's the real reason why so many business starts with that passion. But let us take a step further and figure out what's happening to them. If we move ahead, we find that by the fifth year, why I'm saying fifth year, I mean some business may shut down within the 2 years, some may sustain for a couple of more years, and then finally, on an average, by end of fourth or fifth year, around 90% of the business shut down. I think this is a cause of concern for all of us. With the kind of the schemes that we have, with the kind of the environment in which we operate, I think the business-friendly environment which India is having for last close to 10 to 12 years, since the time we have BJP government here, and we have Mr. Narendra Modi, who is making sure that people should utilize their talent and be the entrepreneurs themselves. This is a matter of concern. Why it is happening that despite the fact that that our environment is friendly for the entrepreneurship, we have the necessary funding which is being available by the banks in the many schemes. Yet why it is happening? And we'll definitely explain the reasons why it is happening, that why a lot of the businesses which starts with the great passion finally ends up within span of 4 to 5 years. So what we have done, we have dig deep into it and do the necessary diagnostics, and then we have come up with close to six reasons, six fundamental reasons why this is happening. We're going to speak about each of those reasons in length in the coming slides, and we'll take a look at what needs to be done so that we could able to done away with those problem statements, and finally we come with the solution. So if you look at the trajectory here, we start with great passion, but we end up shutting down the business because of some of the key areas of concerns that we could not able to address in the early days. So we are going to speak about each of those six causes and try to figure out that what can be done so that we could not able to shut our business because of those challenges, and we could sustain by overcoming those challenges by adopting some of the best practices. So let's move to the next slide. Okay. Now, quickly coming up to the first cause that is there, that is a matter of concern for all the new entrepreneurs. No clear business plan. What does this exactly mean? So we know that when entrepreneur is passionate, he has or he or she has an idea. They only understand that idea is there, but they do not have a proper execution plan to execute that idea, which means that they have an idea, they move forward, they have some limited understanding that how they have to go about it, and they start their business. without actually creating a proper plan that helps them to do the execution. So, what exactly is happening? 100% of passion, 100% passion. I mean, people are passionate about the business nowadays, but 0% plan, which means that passion is there, but to implement that passion, we do not have a strategy in place. We do not have an execution plan in place, and that's the fundamental reason why most of the businesses could not able to sustain. Now, what's happening? Second reason, lack of the market research. So definitely passion is there, but what has been observed that people do not do the enough market research to understand whether the kind of the idea that they are having, is it something which was there in the past, and whether that idea was working in the past or not, and if not, what was the matter of the concern, and if their idea is new idea, how is going to sustain in the multiple regions, how it is going to which kind of the market they are going to cater, which kind of customer segmentation they have to cater. So all that kind of the information which is required for any business to be successful, there is a lot of work that needs to be done, and the lack of the proper market research is another big cause for one of the factor which shows that there is no clear business plan. Non-existent financial modeling and forecasting. This is another subset of, I would say, no clear business. When I'm talking about no clear business plan, ideally these three and another factor which is going to come up. All these four are the subset of the no clear business plan. So 100% passion, 0% planning, lack of market research, and then definitely non-existent financial modeling and forecasting. We have a passion, but we do not know how it is going to run. Financial modeling is not there. We have not created a forecast. We have not created a clear. We do not have a clear idea that what is the revenue model, what is the cost model, and whether within first few months our profitability would be there or not. Whether we are going to manage our variable cost or not. Because the matter of concern here is that many businesses do not understand the concept of contribution. Contribution is when your revenue and your when your revenue is enough to manage your variable cost, and then you have a surplus available. So revenue minus variable cost is a contribution. People do not understand this. They want to just for them they just want to grow the business, and they just want the revenue to be the only point that they do target. So this is a reason because of which they only target the revenue and they do not target the cost, and because of which cost overshoot, and hence they could not able to sustain. Lack of clarity on the target audience. This is one of the another matter of a concern. People have an idea, they have a plan, at least plan in terms of what they have to do as an idea, but they do not have the clarity that on which target audience that business model needs to be implemented, and hence they fail to sustain because they cater all the big audience that are available rather than specifically targeting the audience for which that product or that particular project that you have launched is applicable for. And hence, let's say if you are targeting 100 customer and actual usability of that product is only to 20 customer, then your target is only 20%. So instead of focusing on 20% and then making sure that you cater to the exact 20%, we are focusing on 100%, which means that 80% of our efforts are going waste, and hence we are not able to succeed in it. So what exactly we need to do in that case? There are some lessons that are learned. What are those lessons? Business without a plan is like a driving without a steering, which means that if we do not have a proper business in plan in place, it is not going to sustain us. It's going to be a disaster because at the end of the day, we do not know the clear roadmap. We are just working on an idea which is not going to sustain in future, which means that we need to have the proper business plan that helps us to do the proper market research, target audience, and most importantly, the financial modeling, because that is the key. Because at the end of the day, the objective of business is to earn profit and maximize the revenue and the wealth for the people who are for which they're working, and then definitely in the future for the shareholders for which we're going to work upon. So lesson here is that we need to have the clear and well articulated business plan to work upon to make sure that our business sustain. Moving to the next slide to discuss upon the next cause then. Okay, now we'll quickly move to the next reason: weak marketing and online presence. So I think this is again a matter of concern. So when we talk about weak marketing and online presence, what exactly we mean? So we are looking at. So I'll just quickly highlight all the four factors. So we are talking about four key factors within this. First is relying only on the word of mouth and limits your reach. So which means that we have an idea, we know the market plan, we have now go to strategy that how we have to go to the market. But what are the mechanism? What is the methods? Is word of the mouth only sufficient? No. Reason because uh, it's a matter of concern because when we say we have a product and we are mentioning that product to some of the users, how they are interpreting that product, and then how post their understanding with their limited understanding, they're going to market about your product in a different manner to some other customer. So which means that if you yourself are not reaching to the masses, then you are failing yourself. Because if you're just spreading your product with the few hundreds and considering the fact that that few hundreds will spread your product idea to few thousands, that few thousands is not going to give you a proper customer because the, the spreading mechanism is from those few hundreds who have a limited understanding. You have the best understanding of your product, so why not you should go to your online model, because as of now if there is no online presence then your business is going to fail. If you do not have any presence on the active social media pages, then definitely you're not going to sustain because in the now age era wherein everyone is equipped with the digital mechanisms, where everybody is having the account in the social media, they can view the product, they can see the product, they can compare the product features with the other products, and then definitely they can take a judicious call whether your product is superior or of what quality it is, and then they can take a call whether they want to buy a product or not. But the reach is important. The reach is through the active social media channel, through online presence, and make sure that whatever content you are mentioning in your for your product, that should be relevant, that should make your business a kind of saleable enough to so that people could able to understand the quality and the content and the usability of the product in such a manner that instead of they being dependent on some other or some other customer, they can definitely have that understanding available, which is available through the online, and then definitely they can discuss about the performance of your product by the online reviews that are available nowadays. So weak marketing and online presence is the second major reason for the businesses to not to succeed. And what lesson we have learned here is that customers are online, your business should be too. Collect reviews, post your reviews, and get those reviewed so that you can improvise upon the reviews that and feedback that you're getting from the customer. Make your product better, and definitely once you make the product better, then definitely you have the more prospects to grow your product penetration and the more segment to reach upon. So second cause is weak marketing and online presence. Let's move to the third cause then. Okay. Now, let's quickly talk about the third major reason for business to fail uh, as they progress. Poor team and delegation. What does that mean? We know that when we are talking about business, we cannot do business alone. We need teams. And more important than teams is that we need to have a trust on those teams so that we could able to delegate some of the decision making to those teams, because you cannot do everything by yourself. You need to have that trust, and then you need to have that delegation mechanism through which you will delegate some of the authorities and decision making power so that you can free yourself to strategize the business, to reach the larger customer, and to increase the revenue. So let me just quickly highlight quick quick and major reasons for the poor or factors for the poor teams delegation. Okay, what does that mean? Many owners try to do everything themselves. So as I mentioned that people say that people assume themselves as a superhero. They are superhero, but that does not mean that they can do everything by themselves. They still need people to rely upon. They still need an operations to run. They still need some finance guy to work upon the finance. They still need some legal person to look upon the legal compliance. They still need some person who can do the marketing for them. They still need some person who can do the business strategy for them. So definitely it requires a team. So if we do not have a team, if we do not have people to work upon, definitely the sustainability would be a challenge. Fragmented focus on the business growth. What does this leads to? If we have a if somebody assumes that he can do everything, then definitely his mind will be diverted in many directions. So the major objective of the business to succeed is to increase the revenue share and to increase the market share. That loses its focus because a lot of attention got refocus to some of the other areas like operations, managing finances, managing legals, so all those areas. And what we have observed also is that the moment the people start their business, they feel that they want to hire people. They want to hire people, still they do not want to delegate. These are two contradictory statements. So they hire people, but they do not hire the quality people, because they hire people from the market who are just aware of some understanding which is academically available or basis their experience in the past company or past industry. But your product is different. If you want to make sure that your product should have that understanding, but people should understand your product, that we need to make sure that it should have proper training plan in place. So early hiring, and when it got mixed with the absence of training, that will create a kind of challenge to the business itself. And then definitely, as I mentioned, that centralization of decision making and zero delegation is a matter of concern. So in all that, if we have people to work upon, we need to trust them, but we need to also make sure that when is the time we need to hire. Is it like when we are starting, when we are just laying down the foundation stone of business, shall we hire? Maybe no. We need to wait for some time. We need to understand the market dynamics, and we need to create a proper hiring plan. It can be, let's say, a couple of months after you have started the business. Then definitely you're in a better position to understand what kind of the people you want and what kind of resource planning you have to do. And then definitely you can take a decision and move forward. Make sure that you do the proper delegation so that people should understand what is their responsibility and what is the decision making they have to make. And once we have all those information in place, then definitely that can be a success to the business. So what lesson we have learned here? Hire slowly, train properly, and delegate smartly. Simple key message. We need to make sure that hire has to be at a slow pace, and then we have to have a proper training plan, and then we have to make sure that we should delegate smartly. So with these three mantras, we are definitely going to sustain in the business in the long run. This is another major cause: poor team and delegation. So let's move to the next cause then. Okay. Now, we'll quickly talk about the another reason for the failure: no adaptation or innovation. What does this mean? So let me highlight all the factors here. No track on the change of the market and customer behavior. So we have launched a product, we have understand our customer segmentation, we are moving ahead. But the pace at which technology is growing, the pace at which number of businesses are coming up, the product itself is getting changed, the obsolescence percentage and the obsolescence time is very very low nowadays. The change taste of customers are changing every day. So which means that if you have launched a product, do not assume that that is going to sustain for long. You have to continuously make sure that your product should be uh, capable of managing the changing market customers, market needs, and the changing customer behavior. If you're not innovating your product, definitely, and if you're not making sure that your product, which has been based upon some technology factors, and if technology is changing fast and you're not changing your product, then you're losing focus, which means that your product will soon become outdated, and then definitely it has the direct impact on your business. If your product is outdated, then revenue is going to drop and you are going to be out of the market soon. So we have to make sure that we we should have a continuous focus on the product that we have launched. Make sure that the product that we have launched, how it is going to be relevant for the customers at present, and how it is going to change as we move forward in the future. If you're not continuously amending your product, changing your product, making sure that it matches with the taste of the customer, making sure that it should matches with the current technology, future current technology, and then adaptation should be basis the future technology. For example, if you have created a product basis the RP technology, now is the days of the artificial intelligence. If you feel that your product is RPA, then you have to quickly make it to adopt the latest AI technologies, so that when people should buy your product, they should also understand that your product is latest. But if you do not change your product and you only go by the old technology, then definitely your product has become obsolete and it's going to lose its relevance. So adaptation is another key factor. But definitely, what we have to do to make this happen, so we are saying that adapt the changes, continuous product monitoring, and upgrade to the latest technology to make sure that you have the relevance of the product. And if your product is relevant, definitely your business is relevant, because at the end of the day, you are known by your product. So make your product relevant, make your product have the proper market understanding, making sure that your product has a proper market understanding, and people should able to buy your product with the expectation that your product is latest and the greatest. So I think if we have a proper adaptation plan, then definitely we could able to sustain the in the market. But no adaptation or the innovation definitely is the another reasons for the business failure. So let's move to the next reason then. Okay. So we have spoken about four major reasons. Let us look at the fifth reason because of which business failure do happen. Ignoring legal and compliances. Okay, we know that when we operate, we need to have a proper framework within which we have to operate. We need to abide by the certain rules and regulation and the legal compliances just to make sure that we are running the business as per the proper statute and we comply with all the legal compliances that are required. But what happens? When we try and implement our business plan, if we have, then definitely we just ignore the other subsets which are very much relevant to sustain the business. We just focus on revenue, and we just quickly ignore the many legal aspect and the compliances that are the backbone for the business to sustain. Now, what does that mean to us? Let me just quickly highlight all the four factors here. So if we are operating the business in India, we need to abide by the certain rules and regulations. What are those? We need to make sure that we have the adequate registrations to enable and manage our business. GST and PAN, these are the minimum requirements. We need to have those. And depending on the business, if we are running some regulatory business in let's say banking sector or lending sector, then we need to have certain kind of the legal formalities. If you're operating in telecom sector, then definitely we need to have some regulations, authority clearances as well. So we need to have all those legal and regulatory clearances well in place, so that when we operate without fear and with confidence. But what happens that we ignore all these legal compliances, give them the back seat, considering that we only need to generate the revenue. And at the later stage, all these non-compliances will hover over us. We lose focus from the strategy to just manage those compliances, and we are making injustice to our business. So what does we require? We require proper guidance. So people do at this point in time ignore the proper guidance from the well qualified chartered accountant and a proper consultancy firm. So like us. So we at GJ provide all the necessary consultancy and support to the new businesses so that they can just focus on the business and leave all their compliances to us. So we focus and make sure that all their compliances are met because we are a firm that have a lot of chartered accountants. I myself is a chartered accountant, and we guide our businesses so that their focus should be on to focus should be on the revenue and increase the profitability, and for rest of the compliances they can rely on us. Lack of proper knowledge and the various procedure aspect that are the key to run the business are not there. So which means that ignoring the legal and compliance is another major reasons for business being shut down in the first initial years. What can be done to make this what can be done to overcome these kind of issues? So legal and procedure clearance is a prima facie and obtain necessary guidance from a well-qualified chartered accountant consultancy firm. Obtain all the necessary information, get all the clearances well in place before you make sure that your business runs. So that you should not end up spending your time in managing the legal compliances. Your focus should be on the generating the revenue, and for rest, leave that compliances to a well-recognized chartered accountant or a legal firm or a consultancy firm who can manage your business with respect to the compliances and the legal aspect. So this is another major reason for the business to not able to sustain in the long run, even if they started with a great passion. So let's move to the last reason then. Okay, let's talk about the last and the most important reasons because of which failure to happen. Poor financial management. Though we have covered a part of it in the no business plan section where we talked about lack of financial modeling, but let's focus upon key areas because of which poor financial management arises. Let me just quickly highlight all those factors. So we know that when we run a business, we need to make sure that we have the proper accounting, we have to have the proper records being made available. And then basis those records, we could able to take an action whether our budgets are there, whether we have accounted for our expenses, and whether we have accounted for our incomes, and whether we have the surplus or not. But if we do not keep the record of all these things. What does that mean to us? We are not clear whether we have the proper information available. We are not tracking our revenue. We are not tracking our cost, and hence the situation is that we are not sure. We do not know that where our funds are coming and where our funds are going. So, in a situation like this, what exactly we are doing? We are killing ourselves. We are killing our businesses because what is happening here? We are mixing our personal and the business money, which is the biggest mistake. As we know that people entrepreneurs are passionate. They want to run the business, but in doing that kind of business, they forget that their personal money is different and the business money is different. They have to have the clear articulation, clear demarcation of their personal money, so that they should make sure that they should not be investing their personal money in the business. Make sure that their business should run in a self-sustaining model in the future. Business should generate revenue, and that revenue can be utilized to run the business expenses, instead of making sure that instead of spending your own personal money and then waiting for time for the recoupment. We need to have the proper budget in place. Ignoring cash flow definitely kills the business silently. We are not clear from where cash is coming. We are not clear on what expenses we have to spend the cash. And this actually means that poor financial management, and which will means that we do not have a control over the avoidable recurring cost. So at the end of the day, we are here to run the business to earn the profit. Our contribution margin, which is the revenue minus variable cost, that contribution margin should at least meet our fixed cost. If that is not happening, which means that we are making the losses. So we have to have that plan in place, that we need to at least have the break-even point, which means that if our contribution margin equals to our fixed cost, we are running at a break-even analysis. And once we have reached that break-even analysis, then we are at a profit. So profit should be the focus from the day one. Revenue definitely is a focus, but what people do is they only track revenue, they do not track the profit. So at the end of the day, what's happening? In initial year, they end up incurring the losses, and if they do not, keep a track of those financial losses, then situation would arise that they do not have a cash, and they are burn all their cash, and they are out of the cash, and they have to shut their business. So that is another reason. But definitely, how we can avoid that? Use tools like Tally, Zoho Books, or Excel to track the income and expense. Create the proper budget. Make sure that you have the enough information that will help you to take the judicious decision, whether your spendings are more, whether revenues are more, and if your spendings are more, what areas can be worked upon, reduce those spends. So with all these kind of planning, definitely you are in a position to take the proper decision, and then definitely you can make sure that your business is sustained. So poor financial management is another big cause for the business to fail. So we have done with all the six causes. Let us quickly look at the summary page then. Okay, so we have looked upon all of these six major causes: no clear business plan, no adaptation, weak marketing and online presence, poor financial management, poor team delegation, and ignoring the legal and compliances. These are the six major reasons which leads to the failure of the business, and we need to have the proper plan to proper action plans to overcome all these challenges. And I have mentioned the proper action plan at each of those separate slides. So have a look at that those slides. If you have any further concerns, further actions, or further challenges, please share that in the comment box, and definitely I'll create a separate video for all those kind of the specific challenges. But let's just quickly look at the final slide, and look at what are some of the key takeaways, and what are some of the lessons that we have learned from this entire session. Okay, now what are the key takeaways from this session? Apart from luck, success is all about preparation. So I am a huge believer of the fact that we do have a luck, and luck is there. If you don't have a luck, then definitely you're not going to succeed. But that does not mean that you only go by the luck. You have to have the proper preparedness. You have to have the proper efforts. So apart from luck, success is all about preparation. If you are well prepared, then definitely success will be yours. Learn from the others' mistake and not your own. We know that a lot of business shut down. So instead of uh, you know uh, experimenting the same with us, we should learn the best practices and adopt those best practices in our businesses. Master the basics, and be at the top 10%. So if we do all the right things at the right time, then definitely we're going to succeed. And what does that mean to us then? we are there, and call for action. When I say us, means it like we as a team. And what I demand from you here is that like, comment, and share if you found this video valuable. Comment your biggest business challenge below, and we will there to give you all the proper guidance. Follow us and subscribe our channel, GJ Management Consultants, because we partner our businesses. We are there. We are there to make sure that we should turn your strategy into success. With this, we have come to the concluding page. And thank you for all your patience. Thank you for all your support, and thank you for all your guidance. See you in next upcoming video. Thank you and have a good day.